Hello, this is your librarian. In this video, we'll look at the 6-question strategy for broadening a research topic. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more research tips and tutorials. Let's get started. In my last video, I discussed how to narrow a research topic. But what do you do when your topic is just a little too broad? You've got loads of literature to sift through, and there is so much information out there that it is hard to know where to start. Who, what, where, when, how, and why? What are the existing barriers to trade and what has been done to overcome them? Considering these aspects will help you to refine your research question and identify specific areas for investigation. For example, in the case of trade relations between Peru and Bolivia, some possible research questions could be: what are the main products traded between Peru and Bolivia? Thinking about the mechanisms and strategies related to your topic allows you to explore the practical aspects of implementing solutions or interventions. Uncovering the underlying reasons behind your topic can help you understand its significance and the motivations of the different stakeholders involved. It also allows you to explore the values and beliefs that inform people's opinions and actions related to your topic. How to investigate ways to improve trade relations between Peru and Bolivia. Using the 6-question strategy, we can ask ourselves the following. These topics could then be further refined or expanded upon, depending on our specific research interests and the scope of our project. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this helpful. Thanks for watching and good luck with your research. Let's take a closer look at this process. We can break down each of the 6 questions into more specific sub-questions that can serve as potential research topics. For example, under the heading of who, we might ask questions such as: who are the main exporters and importers of which commodities? Who are the key government officials involved in trade negotiations? Who are the winners and losers from trade between the two countries? By investigating these questions, we can gain a deeper understanding of the different actors involved in trade relations between Peru and Bolivia, as well as their motivations and interests. Who are the key players in trade relations between Peru and Bolivia? What specific aspects of trade relations should be investigated? Where are the main trading hubs or regions involved? When did trade relations begin and how have they evolved over time? How can trade relations be improved and what are the different strategies for doing so? Why is it important to improve trade relations between these two countries? For example, in the case of trade relations between Peru and Bolivia, some possible research questions could be: why is it important for Peru and Bolivia to improve their trade relations? As an example, the answer to this question could include a variety of stakeholders, such as government officials, business leaders, local communities, or even non-governmental organizations. By considering the different perspectives and interests of these groups, we can develop a more comprehensive understanding of the topic and identify potential areas of conflict or consensus. For instance, we might discover that local communities in the region have concerns about the environmental or social impacts of certain trade policies. This could lead us to investigate the sustainability or ethical implications of those policies, which could then become a central part of our research. What are the potential economic, social, and political benefits? What are the main concerns or objections from different groups or individuals regarding increased trade? Why does the topic matter? So what? It also helps you consider the different actors involved and their respective roles and responsibilities. For example, in the case of trade relations between Peru and Bolivia, some possible research questions could be: how do logistical challenges impact the flow of goods between Peru and Bolivia? How can technology be used to improve the efficiency of trade between the two countries? What are the different strategies that governments and businesses are using to promote trade in specific sectors? What are the economic impacts of this trade on each country? What are the major obstacles to increasing trade between the two countries? These 6 questions encourage you to think systematically about the topic and identify new avenues of investigation. This can help you narrow your topic down to a more manageable scope, while still keeping it broad enough to allow for in-depth analysis. Remember that this strategy is particularly useful during the early stages of your research. When you are doing your initial literature review, after asking yourself these questions, you may find that your topic has expanded beyond your original scope. That's perfectly fine. Take some time to explore these new directions and consider how they might contribute to your overall research goals. However, if you feel that your topic is still too broad after going through this exercise, don't hesitate to reach out to your librarian for assistance. They are experts in finding and interpreting information and can help you determine whether a broader analysis is warranted or if there are undiscovered research angles that you could pursue. Are there other places that could serve as a model for success? Where will the benefits of improved trade relations be felt? When will it happen in the future? Time is an important consideration in many research topics. By exploring the historical context of your topic, you can gain a deeper understanding of its evolution and the factors that have shaped it over time. Additionally, considering the duration of the topic can help you evaluate the effectiveness of interventions or policies implemented to address it. For example, in the case of trade relations between Peru and Bolivia, some possible research questions could be: how have trade relations between Peru and Bolivia evolved over time? What historical events or agreements have influenced the development of their current trade relationship? What are the projected growth rates for specific industries or trade sectors? Thinking about location can add a new dimension to your research. It allows you to explore the geographical and spatial issues related to your topic. For example, in the case of trade relations between Peru and Bolivia, some possible research questions could be: to what extent does geography influence trade patterns between Peru and Bolivia? Are there specific regions within each country that benefit more or less from trade with each other? Could trade relations be improved by establishing new transportation routes or infrastructure? This approach also helps you center your study around gaps in the existing literature by prompting you to consider aspects that may have been overlooked. This strategy is particularly useful during the early stages of the research process, when you are doing your initial literature review. For instance, let's say your topic is trade relations between Peru and Bolivia. There's lots to explore here, and without some sort of direction, you could end up writing about anything and everything. And while comprehensive overviews have their place, usually an in-depth study needs to focus on one aspect of the broader topic. So how do you go about narrowing a broad topic? Enter the 6 questions strategy. The 6 questions strategy is a simple yet effective way to broaden a research topic. Using the standard journalistic questions, let us look at each of the 6 questions in turn and see how they apply to our example topic of trade relations between Peru and Bolivia. Who are the key players in this relationship? It's not just the two countries. Think about other countries that might be involved, such as trading partners or countries that have a similar relationship. It could also include individuals, special interest groups, or non-governmental organizations and institutions. Each of these stakeholders may have a unique perspective or interest in the topic. For example, in the case of trade relations between Peru and Bolivia, it could include: who are the main exporters and importers? Who are the key government officials involved in trade negotiations? What about the impact on local communities or indigenous groups? Are there any non-governmental organizations working to promote trade between the two countries? By considering all of these stakeholders, you can gain a more comprehensive understanding of the topic and identify potential knowledge gaps or areas of conflict. What are the specific elements of the topic? What are the commodities being traded? Are there any potential new commodities that could be traded? Where does the action take place? Is there a particular region or locality that plays a significant role? When did the phenomenon start? How long has it been going on? How does the process work? What are the different approaches or methods used? How can we improve or change things? How do we overcome challenges? Why is this happening? Why should we care? Why are certain groups for or against it? What are the advantages and disadvantages? Why is this important? By asking these 6 questions, you can develop a deeper understanding of your topic and identify potential research gaps or areas that need further exploration. Let us go back to our example topic of trade relations between Peru and Bolivia and see how the 6 questions strategy can help us come up with some potential research questions. Now let's use the first question, who? Using the 6 questions strategy as a starting point, we can generate several potential sub-questions that could lead to different main topics for our research. And that's the 6 questions strategy in a nutshell. A great way to help broaden your research topic.